The name is Brandon Groce. And we are the Game Changers. Designers, creatives alike. We are in a world that runs on value. Our next designs will be the shiniest. Our next animation will be the most buttery. Ladies and gentlemen, Game Changers, let the games begin.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Editor X Live with me, your host, Brandon Groce. I want to say welcome, everybody. Gabriel, Victor, Dima, Alicia. Glad to see you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am super excited because not only is today Friday, we are working on stacks today when it comes to Editor X features. So with that said, if you guys are watching, you're super excited for today, remember to subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. With that said, let's hop on over into our house cleaning items. But before we do that, I would love to know what you guys are excited about today, what you guys are doing for your Friday and or your weekend in the chat. Let me know. What's going on, Victor? All right, so for those of you guys who are brand new and or who are watching the replay, if you haven't already and you want to join Editor X or join us with these challenges, do make sure you go to editorx.com. You can find the link in the description. You can go to Start Now and sign up for your free account and start making amazing responsive websites in minutes. With that said, either with me, the crew who's watching, and really just all the other amazing people we have in our Editor X community. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about our community, our Discord. If you guys want to join hundreds of other amazing creatives like yourselves, as well as the Editor X team, to really just help you answer the questions that you have about Editor X, get you to overcome the challenges that you're having within the platform if you're brand new, or really there's some really amazing people in here, not only who are here present with us today in the chat, but we have some really cool people who know how to do things that I don't know how to do. And the more the merrier, and there's a plethora of creative people that can help and show you guys different ways of doing things and different creative things that I cannot yet do. There's levels to this stuff, guys. So with that said, if you do definitely want to join our Discord, you can find the link down in the description, but there's three main value propositions for joining the Discord. One, like I said, creative masterminds. You get access to the Editor X team and myself to really just answer your questions that you have. For example, in our advice tab, you guys can ask any and everything that you need help with, and we try to make sure each and every day we get to you guys as quickly as possible to help you overcome your challenges. On top of that, you can submit your challenges you can submit your projects for the challenges that we're having each and every month for 2 weeks at a time, so that you guys can win prizes. And this month is a really awesome, yet another Editor X swag pack. So that is just as we're beginning, but I'm super excited for prizes that will be we're still conversing about in the future. So with that said, you get prizes for engaging, you get to have access to myself, the Editor X team, other creatives, and you get to ask your questions. So main value prop there. And with that, let's start talking about what it is we're here for today, which is stacks. All right, I'm going back over to the chat. Sankit, what's going on? Glad to have you here, my friend. Alicia, what's up? All right, so let's dive into today's project. So we are going to be working on stacks. This is a super basic project, but there's a lot of questions, at least that we had last month. Hey, Brandon, when is it beneficial to use containers? When should I use stacks? Things of that nature. So we're kind of going to talk about specifically how, in this specific example, why I decided to use stacks and what it helps with in particular. What's its strength? So with that said, we're going to go ahead and open up a new project. We're going to build it out. We're using just the desktop version, just using stacks. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my pages, add new page, and we are going to call this stacks tut. All right, and like I've been doing, just because again we're listening to you guys, last month I was spending a lot of time designing the menu, and we would be 15 minutes already into the video before we got into the nitty-gritty of things. So if you guys want help about creating menus and things like this, I would definitely recommend you watch the first video of today of this week, which was all about grids. Watch that. It will take care of everything you guys need to know. But we're going to be focusing on the section area in particular. And I'm going to duplicate this tab just so I can have my previous page as reference. And while it's loading, I'm going to have some coffee. All right. So what we are going to do here is, first off, I'm going to make my section green. We've got to have that matching color, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go to my inspector, go to my design here, and I'm going to already have this color picked out. But for those of you guys who are watching, the hex color is 4A5B55. And as we have, yes, Victor, that coffee emoji, indeed. We are on the same page, my good sir. And what I like to do is, you know, I'm just going to give me some space to work with. The section is a little small right now. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give us just 1,000 pixels to work with. Some of you guys yesterday wanted to, you know, there's no one size fits all. If you guys want to go ahead and use 100 VH, be my guest. Vertical height, 100 vertical height. But I want to kind of give my, you know, maybe we'll mess around with 100 VH, but we might give ourselves a little bit of space later. And just for context, my menu here is pinned, and we do have it overlapped the next set. Well, actually, we'll leave it not overlapped for now. But essentially, I just want to give you guys the position of this menu is pinned. That's why it's staying where it is while I'm scrolling. So first things first is I'm going to select my section. I'm going to change the grid layout, not at the header of my section. Apply grid. We're going to do a 2x1. And it's going to be pretty simple. Like we have over here, we have one image. So all I'm going to do is right click, quick add. I'm going to go ahead and add an image to the full width of this side of this section here. I'm just going to change the image, and I'm going to use our a basic asset that you guys have. Actually, I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning. If you guys are new to this, we always give you guys starter files. It's the first link down in the description. You will have both the logo, this image, and I think there's one other thing that I think I gave you guys, and I think maybe it's a telephone icon. But again, like I said, these challenges, all you guys have to complete is somehow using stacks and what it is that you are submitting in our Discord. Some of you guys are learning Editor X and are brand new, and that's why we give you guys starter files. Helps you kind of learn the ropes as we're going through the challenges together. But as you guys get more comfortable in Editor X, feel free to make the challenges your own. And as long as you're using stacks and you submit a project that has stacks, you're good to go. Adrian, what's going on, my man? Glad to see you back at it again. Dab indeed. Glad to have you back. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting in some of this content here as well. And also in the chat, guys, let me know what's happening. What's happening today? What's happening this weekend? Would love to get to know you guys just a little bit better. I know we're here to learn, but I'm also curious what you guys are excited about. So first things first, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we have a text section. So I'm going to right click, quick add, title. Boom. And yes, there'll be a lot of sound effects today. We've had quite a bit of coffee. We feel more energetic than yesterday. We're feeling good. And let's see, let's check the size of this. We have 81 pixels for our text here, 81. So I'm gonna just copy that. And we are using Montserrat Light. And I'm gonna go ahead and copy this text here so I don't have to type it out because we will be here for days if that's the case. All right, I'm gonna select everything, Montserrat Light. Victor says we are working, and that's the whole week. Your challenges put some smile on our faces. That's good. I'm glad. Marcelo, what's going on, man? Glad to see you back in the house. Well, hey, listen, I hope you guys have some nice breathing room. I know I have been working all week long, and sometimes it gets tiring, you know, so that's why we have each other. We have the community. And, you know, I hope you guys, I'm happy to have hardworking people in the community, but we have to breathe, we have to live a little bit, have additional coffee, and learn when to relax and not destroy ourselves. You know what I'm saying? All right. So what I am doing here is I'm like, I think this looks weird with the 3 lines, so we're definitely just going to leave it 2 lines here. But interested to know if you guys think we should do 2 lines or 3 lines. Next, I do want to have a little bit of a video box, a paragraph, and a button. So let's go ahead and drag these things in here. So we have our title. I'll just pull this up real quick. I want it to align with my, I don't even know the name of this in particular. I think it's pronounced Baki. Bachi. You guys let me know in the chat which one you think is more, which you would like, the way you would like it to be pronounced. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and quick add. We're gonna do a video box. And for now, we're just gonna leave the default video as is. You guys can change it for your project if you so wish, but for right now, it's all about the stacks. Gabriel says Monster as the best font family. It literally is my go-to. Like, I do not go any, it just fits so many different styles. It's very hard not to go with it. See, we have a good crew today, guys. We have a good crew in general. I think we're all on the same page. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pick paragraph. I'm excited. The more and more people that join these challenges and really these daily conversations, guys, you know, we're gonna build an awesome family. This is only month 2. Imagine a year, the crazy stuff that we're gonna be producing. All right, I'm gonna just copy the content here, pull this over here so we don't have to type, because I will be typing forever. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned this, but somebody had asked during our week or month 1, you know, in our starter kit, we do give you guys an Adobe XD file just in case if you guys want the hex codes and things of that nature, and you want to export your own assets from that file. But we also give you guys the standalone assets that we're using for this. Well, maybe that's what it means, Sonkit. I have no idea. There's a possibility. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it means like feminine or something. I have no idea. And you know what? I want to double check something because I guess not. Okay. All right, we're good. So I'm going to edit this button really quick. I do not want a background, so I'm going to just go to my design tab, turn that background opacity all the way down. We do want a white border, so we're going to click white. And we're going to give it a width of about 1. We're going to go to our corners. We don't want any roundness, so we're going to 0 all of the radius. And let's go ahead and see, first off, let's change the text here. We're going to copy that. And we have the width of like 268. So we are going to, go back to my layout, go to width, 268. Make the height just a little bit bigger. And copy our view, our product here. Okay, so now we're in a spot where we can actually use the stack. And honestly, this is really simple. So watch this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of my assets here, starting with my text, holding shift, go to my video box, paragraph, and my button. First thing I do want to do is make sure that we align everything to the left so we know everything is on that line. And now what I'm going to do is we have these 2 options. We can either group or we can stack. Now this is where the big question comes in. A lot of people are like, Brandon, what? They use other words, but they're like, Brandon, what in the world is the difference? You know? So this is what I like to say. Group, essentially what this does is it helps you move content that is essentially, let's go to my layers here. You can see that all of this content is grouped because of this icon here. And what this does, it basically allows you to move this content that is grouped together, all together. There's no other functionality but that. It just helps you kind of, hey, I want these things to be moved together. I think in some scenarios you can actually scale these things. I've seen some people do that, but I have not really played with that myself. But again, I don't really use group that much. I typically either use containers or stacks. And let's kind of ungroup everything, and I'll show you why I like to use stacks. So if you guys were here for, I think it was day 1 this week, or day 2, which was grids. You guys saw how we used grids to separate paragraphs from, titles from paragraphs and other content. Stacks kind of does the same thing, but a little bit more efficiently because you get to space things. Honestly, you could use either or, but stacks it's pretty quick. So I'm going to select everything. I'm going to stack it. And the main thing that I like to use this for, and I would love to know, because we have some veterans in the chat too, how you guys like to use it. But we have item spacing here over in this display section in my inspector. And right now we see mix. And what this is referring to is all these spaces that we have here. These little, they're not really gray spaces, but these light spaces. And what it's basically, what that is basically the pixels, a mixed pixel width between the assets or elements inside of the stack. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give everything like a 15 pixel spacing. So as you guys can see, as I put this number in here, we now have 15 pixels in between each element. And I can change this. I can give it 25. I can give it 30. Something that kind of fits my fancy. And another thing that I like to do, and let's try this out. The last time I did this, it did work. Let's see. Another thing, like for example, if I wanted to switch content around in my stack, I don't have to like drag it, then drag another thing down. Like no, I literally can be like, let me Control Z. Maybe I don't like this video box here. Maybe I want my paragraph to be over top this video. I can simply just pull this here, give it a new spot, and they switch spaces. So that's kind of how the stack is more efficient than maybe a container. You know that you want certain elements grouped together, and you have the flexibility to really move them and basically move and replace other elements by just simply dragging. They know what type of relationship that they have with one another. If that makes sense. And if that doesn't make sense, please let me know in the chat. I will clarify a little bit more. Okay. So that is essentially what we have for a stack. We have a few minutes here. We have about 10 minutes. So let's start. We're going to start going into a little bit. We're going to see how much we can get done here. That's basics. This is like the basics of what a stack does. I showed you guys the difference between that and a group and how you can replace things simply by dragging, and they understand that the elements can swap with one another. Now, when we start going into, for example, we're getting into responsive, and I know this is going to be, I'm going to try to refrain to going too deep into responsiveness. But essentially, what I'm going to do here when I go into tablet is first off, I'm going to go to my layers, go to my header, and I am going to turn off. We're not going to worry about the menu here. That's not what we want to kind of discuss. So that's turned off. I'm going to turn off the hamburger as well. I'm just doing this just in case for some people who are like, all right, great, stacks. But when we start going to tablet, you know, kind of what happens. First off, I do want to refer you guys back to a previous video that we've done today. If you go back into our video history, it literally just says like mastering responsiveness. I highly recommend you guys check that out. But I do want to answer this here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change grid layout, and rather than what we have as a side by side, I'm going to switch this to a basically two rows versus two columns. And now all I need to do is we have our content here in our stack. And I'm just going to move this so that it's aligned again with our what is this? Our bachi, what is it? Our logo. There we go. And now all we need to do is our image is getting cut off. So all we need to do is increase the height of our section. And I'm just going to set this to auto for right now. See what happens. Okay, our image is just gone. So let me see. We're going to zero this out to none. And I'm just going to set this to something obscene. Let's do 2000 pixels for now. Okay. And our image went somewhere. Okay, there's our image. All right. And essentially all I would do here is just start arranging what I want to see in tablet. So this splits a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is change grid layout, advanced mode. And I think one of the first things I would do is I would change, I could do this either manually, you know, I could drag this line up if I wanted to, all the way to where I see fit, which is probably like around here. It feels good to me. And then what I could do a couple things with this image. I could either set a proper focus for what I want this image to focus on, or I could just recrop the image. There's a couple other things that I could do here, and that's totally up to you. So with that said, I kind of just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to take a stack on desktop. What's the difference between a stack and a group? How you can easily use a stack, since everything has a nice consistent relationship with each other in that group. And I know I'm using like group and stack synonymously, but how you can create a group of elements within a stack that know the relationship with one another, and take that through different breakpoints and easily create different different hierarchies, I guess, or different ways of structuring it. So just for example, like I didn't have to do too much to my stack. We just went to tablet. We just changed the section from horizontal to vertical. And all we had to do was realign our stack to where we wanted it to be, which is left aligned with the logo. And we just messed around with the height of the section. That was it. We didn't have to go mess around with our, with our stack here. And even if I wanted to, like if I wanted to move this video up here, for our tablet version, look how simple this is. 2 different breakpoints, right? We have everything as we decided upon on our desktop. Title, paragraph, video, button. And our paragraph, we made a little bit of a different design decision. We have our title, video, paragraph, and our button, and it's vertical. And all of that is like, we just decided to move things. We didn't have to do anything too crazy. Each breakpoint has a different design without too much work. So that's the power of stack, guys. Now I'm going to go, Victor had a question. Brandon, you just want a casual page with stack with fern. That's a big word, man. I don't know what that is. Fernitude theme. I don't know what that is. We're going to have to talk more about what that is. But if you want to explain what that means in the chat, Victor, that would be awesome. All right, Victor says, so does the vertical layout with only... Hold on. So does the vertical layout only be applied for tablet breakpoints? Yes. So that's one of the powerful things about, and one of my most favorite things about Editor X. I could decide I want to make this totally different on tablet. For example, let's say, I'll just showcase it again. Like if I wanted to move things around in such a way, and even be, let's try to do, let's do this. Let's just be obnoxious really quick. Let me do, and I'm gonna just pull this in. I'm going to change grid layout really quick, advanced mode. I'm going to do max content for right now. I'm surprised it didn't squeeze. All right, I'm just going to go here. Height. I'm going to give this, what happens if I set it back to auto? All right, perfect. I'm going to center this. Here, I am going to go back and give some margin to the top and the bottom of this photo. 50 pixels to the top, 50 pixels to the bottom. And so we have 2 different types of, I'm going to give this, I kind of messed up my section here. Hold on. All right, so I kind of moved some things around. I'm not going to do it too perfect. This is just as an example. Okay, we have our desktop where we have a total different layout than what I just changed on the tablet. And I could go even deeper, right? I could do this exact same thing over on the mobile side of things. I could go to the mobile breakpoint and I could change this all up. I could put the image first and then the title, the button, and all those things. But breakpoints are like, the different breakpoints stay to how you change them. if that makes sense. So the things that we change on desktop will not change I forget the big words that people use. The changes that you make on mobile will not change the things that you do on tablet, and the things that you change on tablet will not mess the things up that you made on desktop, if that makes sense. Victor says, I wrote wrong furniture. We must apply stacks on items and build a homepage with furniture theme, right? You're asking about the challenge, essentially. So the challenge, just like you asked yesterday, you can decide to use furniture if you so feel enthused by the theme. I was enthused by using furniture, but essentially what we want you guys to do is just each feature that we come in and really talk about, I want to see you guys use those themes in your challenges. So there's layers to this. If like the lowest layer is copy exactly what we produced here, which is just the desktop version of a homepage using stacks with the assets that we give you. So that's the lowest common denominator when it comes to what your submission needs to be for the challenges. The next one is you're feeling yourself with the EditorX. You're like, like you're feeling good with it. You're like, we don't need to, deal with the starter files. I have a really great idea that involves stacks, just like you did yesterday, where you created your own challenge and you submitted that using, what was yesterday's challenge? I already forgot. I think it was hover interactions. So you added hover interactions to your previous project that you used throughout other challenges. So the simple answer for you guys is, starting off, if you're just learning EditorX, go ahead and just copy what we did today. The thing that you want to submit is using our starter files, using stacks, and submitting that website in our Discord. Second level is if you want to create something that just involves stacks, go ahead and do that so you have freedom. But we just want you guys to see you guys using the features that we're talking about. Sanket says, that really explains very well, Brandon. Thank you. Awesome, sweet. Victor is saying, Sanket, I recommend vertical style to tablets and mobile and horizontal for desktop. Okay, Brandon, let's do it. Challenge number 4, here we go. Awesome. All right, guys, so that is it for today. Just one more time before we leave, I have to do a huge shout out to Victor and Dima because their projects were awesome. And I also, for those who are watching the replay, I do want to make sure that you guys are you understand how to publish your website and how to submit it in our Discord before we leave. So do make sure that you go to publish, this blue button on the right hand corner of your EditorX, publish your site, take this website here or this URL, copy it. Do make sure you go to, where's the Discord? Where are you? Okay. Make sure you go to Discord. First off, do make sure if you join our Discord, you are going to be brought to this page and it's going to ask you to agree to our community rules and guidelines. Please make sure you go to rules and hit agree so that the rest of the community platform on Discord opens up to you and you have access to us and all the things. Okay. You would go to challenge. You make sure, first off, we do have a little bit of a format. So all you would need to do, and you don't need the challenge 3 reference, all you have to do is have your name, the challenge number, and the URL to your website, and just hit enter, and that's it. I will put this in the chat right after our live stream. And don't forget to say hi in our general chat, guys. The community is growing literally every day. You guys can hang out and chat with us in the general chat. And one more other thing, let's take a look at yesterday's challenge submissions. So we have Victor and we have Dima. All right, first, Victor, I have to say, this is what I was talking about, guys. You are able to work off of some of your past challenge submissions as long as they are working with the things that we're working on that day for the challenge. Like, for example, Victor for challenge 2, I believe this was just, I think it was responsivity. I think that's what challenge 2 was. And then challenge 3, he came in with some fire, you know what I'm saying? With some hover interactions, and this is beautiful. Excellent job. And then we had Dima coming in with very nice. Our beautiful hover interactions. Great job. Looks beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you do have any questions or just want to hang out in Discord, I'll be there all day to answer your questions. I saw some of you guys did ask questions, so I'll be getting to you guys as soon as possible. Thank you guys for hanging out. See you in the Discord, and do not forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you on Monday for another amazing challenge. So with that said, have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you then. Peace.
Dope responsive websites like this and even this for you and your clients within just minutes. First off, you can achieve all of this in the powerful no-code platform EditorX. On these dates, I will be hosting live daily creative challenges on YouTube to teach you the fundamentals of EditorX and how to create the exact responsive websites you see here. Click the link in the bio to sign up for the challenges, and I will see you in our Discord. See you then.